Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the corner. Welcome to your latest Chelsea transfer news. The level of incompetency at this football club is truly laughable. But we knew that. We already know all of this, right? But once again, the news that I've got lined up for you guys, ladies and gentlemen, oh my God, strap yourselves in, get yourself some popcorn, get some food, because the level of nonsense is only rising by the day. And, there are certain parts in the media, especially in TalkSport, Simon Jordan, I don't know if you've seen the clip, maybe I should do a video on that, who's stating that, Iqbali knows everything about football. He knows exactly what he's doing with Chelsea Football Club. Look, I'm not even upset. I'm not even upset about this Bonanotte situation. I just find it laughable and how incompetent the situation is, because surely generally in any workplace, in any professional workplace, the amount of screw-ups, if you screw up too many times, you're going to end up getting sacked, because there's accountability. That's just how the professional workplace, the professional outlook, that's just how it all works. Chelsea Football Club's the only football club I see where you can make countless amount of mistakes, and seriously, you are not going to get asked one bit about your performance. You're not. In fact, sometimes you might even get rewarded. So we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about Virgil van Dijk. We're going to talk about Enzo Fernandez perhaps to PSG next summer, which I don't think that's too far-fetched. But we're going to kick things off with Virgil van Dijk, because for me, this seemed the most funniest news today. We're gonna get to Facundo Bonanotte. Don't worry about that. For me, that's just a nonsense news anyway. Check this out. Check this news out about Virgil. Like, this is the level of nonsense that we have to deal with at Chelsea Football Club. This is what we are made to believe. Like, it's just insult to the fan base's intelligence. And this brother, I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to say this brother, Ben Jacobs, this guy is a fraud and a half, man. He's absolute fraudulent. There are certain news that he gets right, but there's so many, especially transfer news. I swear to you, I don't think he's got any clue. But check this out. Chelsea looked at signing Virgil van Dijk before he signed a new deal with Liverpool last year. Reading that news makes me laugh. I'm meant to sit here and listen to Ben Jacobs say all of this nonsense. I'm meant to sit here and believe that we were looking to sign Virgil van Dijk. Really? What part of the project does he fit in? He definitely doesn't fit the, age factor. He definitely doesn't fit the wage factor, because he's on mad wages at Liverpool. What makes you think Virgil van Dijk, who became Premier League champions last season, right, is going to come to Chelsea Football Club to do what? To dance, to do the tango, to do the cha-cha-cha. Like, what's he meant to do here? So don't give me this nonsense. Okay, sure, you might look at signing. Yeah, sure, you can look at anyone. You can look at signing whoever you want. But do they really look back at you? That's the thing. This is the same case with Semenyo recently. Oh, we looked at signing Semenyo. Oh, we've pulled out from the race. Pulled out from what race? You weren't even in the ground, let alone racing. You do need to ask the player, hey, are you interested? Are you keen to join us? Okay, you're keen. All right, now let me negotiate. You've not even asked the player, the agent, no one, and you think you're in the race. Similarly with Van Dijk as well. Van Dijk wouldn't even look once, let alone twice, to join Chelsea Football Club. Same with the managerial stuff. Oh, we spoke to Felipe Luis. You didn't. Oh, we interviewed Felipe Luis. No, you didn't. There was only Liam Rossignol, and that was it. So this type of nonsense, man. Like, are we bored, Chelsea Football Club, the hierarchy, drip feeding all of this information to the journalists? Like, are you not bored? No one's buying this nonsense anymore, man. This is why I said that once that whole Maresca situation was going on, parting ways, just before that, how we were getting linked with, Oscar Bob, Vitor Roque, this, that, the other. I said, and all the news that was coming out in behind, why Maresca was leaving. I was like, I thought this ownership was perhaps changing after the Club World Cup, glory. After getting Champions League, after getting the Conference League, I thought, what, this club finally is probably changing. Maybe they now realize how to get the perfect balance between business and football. But no, the nonsense continues. And this is why there's simply no hope. There's simply no hope. I know some of you guys might be saying, but well then, Miz, why do you go into matches feeling that you can do something? What am I meant to do? I still love the football club, man. This is my football club. I don't like the owners. I want them gone. But I love my club. I want my club to do well. I'm not going to go into a match against Arsenal, anticipating that, we're going to lose. It's two different situations here. One, I love the club. Two, I hate the way how things are being run by the owners. Always happy, even well before. It's not a new phenomenon. My biggest mistake was that I fell for the fact that we were changing. After the Club World Cup, that was my biggest fault, that I gave the benefit of the doubt that the owners were changing. Now, let's get back into this news, ladies and gentlemen. Check this out. Exclusive. Leeds United reach verbal agreement to sign Facundo Bonanotte. Chelsea to interrupt loan move from Brighton, leaving Chelsea to return to Brighton and then join Leeds. Move to Leeds United will be a loan until the end of the season. Here we go soon, which we ultimately saw the here we go. As you can see over here. Facu, it spells like fuck you. Fuck you, Bonanotte will undergo his medical at Leeds United soon as it's all approved also by Chelsea and Brighton. Exclusive story confirmed. What exclusive story, man? Look, I'm not even upset. I'm not upset because he was underutilized. We barely saw Bonanotte. And whatever little bits and pieces we saw, sometimes it was good, sometimes it was rubbish. I said when we first got Bonanotte, we were told we were going to get either Xavi Simons or Fermin Lopez, and all of a sudden Bonanotte was thrown in our face. And I said, look, I've watched Bonanotte in Brighton, I've watched Bonanotte in Leicester. He's a decent player, but he's not what we need. He's not Chelsea level. He's an okay-ish player. It's perfect for Leeds. Bottom line, perfect for Leeds. Yeah? So me, I'm not upset. I'm not upset. We barely underutilized. What I am upset about is the level of incompetence. Renato Vega, João Felix, Desassi, and the list goes on. There's so many players that we got in. And look, I've said I understand that the ownership needs to do player trading because it's a form of revenue stream. I get that. But have some balance. Bring in your young players to do your player trading nonsense, but then bring in some quality to help the squad, help the playing unit, help the manager, help us compete. Don't look at every player as a financial transaction. Don't look at every player like a commodity in the stock market. At what point are we going to hold some accountability on these, hierarchy, sporting directors, owners, whoever's involved? At what point are we going to do that? Because it's a joke, man. The amount of mistakes we keep making over and over again. Renato Vega last season in the summer, and he left, he effed off, he fakud off. Within 6 months, João Felix, same case. Now we got Bonanotte. Why are we doing this? And why aren't the ownership coming down to the sporting directors and saying, guys, what are you doing? You can't be making this many mistakes. Sure, you can make one or two here and there, but every single window, it's just mad. That's what I'm upset about. I could care less about Bonanotte leaving. I'm more about what a waste. What an absolute waste. Honestly, what an absolute waste. Now, check this out. Enzo Fernandez is disturbed by the departure of Enzo Maresca and is weighing up his Chelsea future long-term. PSG have added him to their shortlist, L'Equipe, who are a top French publication. Look, it's probably not going to happen this window. Of course, it's not going to happen in this window. But do not be surprised if it happens in the summer window. I think we're going to start seeing some of the big players leave Chelsea Football Club very soon because the utter nonsense that's going on all the time, the level of interference from the ownership, consistently changing managers. I mean, I wish Liam Rossignol all the best of luck, but in all honesty, is he really going to succeed? I hope he does, but the odds are against him madly. Arsenal's just a small little preview. What's there to come, who knows? I only pray that it works out for Rossignol. I really do, because I love the football club. Not because I've got any affiliation with Rossignol, but I love the football club. But I don't see it working out. And in the long run, I'm not going to be surprised if some of the bigger players put their hand up and go, look, man, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. I need to start winning trophies. Football career, it's at max, if you are a good player, 10 to 15 years. Probably not even 15 years, 10 years. I'll do as much as I can, earn as much as I can, absolutely decorate my career with silverware. PSG would be a nice destination for Enzo Fernandez. Brilliant destination. So watch this space, ladies and gentlemen. These sort of things can happen down the track. We've already touched base on the Van Dijk stuff, but in the beginning it was breaking. Chelsea have discussed Bournemouth centre-back Marcos Senesi. Marcos Senesi, who turns 29 in May, but Chelsea are more inclined to look for a younger name. Of course, 29. That's a grandpa. 29, you're ready to retire. We don't want 29. So don't give me Marcos Senesi, who's turning 29. That's BS. And first of all, Marcos Senesi, I don't care. Some might think, oh, he's a good defender. Trust me, he's a very good defender. He's better than what we've got. Of course, there's a lot of defenders out there. It doesn't take too much to be better than our defenders. But I need top level, top level. No disrespect to Marcos Senesi, but I don't even want to be linked here. But Chelsea are more inclined to look for a younger name. Tabs are being kept on Jeremy Jacquet. I don't even know how to pronounce that. And Jacobo Ramon. I don't know who these two players are. Seems like some sort of Street Fighter characters. And I've scouted Toulouse centre-back Charlie Creswell. I know that last name, Creswell. Pretty sure it was once upon a time a West Ham player. What's his name? Liam Creswell? Who's Charlie Creswell? Maybe it's his brother. But this is the type of nonsense that... And crazy. We're discussing a centre-back. Guess who wanted a centre-back? Enzo Maresca. And now, full circle back, this window, now we want to buy a centre-back. Once again, the incompetency. Now, a lot of people might say, Miz, why are you upset now? You seem to have said to Enzo Maresca to find a solution. Of course, I said to Enzo Maresca to find a solution once the window was closed. Once it was closed, what am I meant to do? Try and find a solution with what you have. Now the window's open again. Now let's talk about transfers. No point in talking about transfers. And I did admit that, yeah, he should have got a centre-back, but it's closed. This is what I have. Let's kick on. Wait till the January window opens. We'll try and do something about it. But my man Maresca's already effed off. Do you know what I mean? He's already left. Rightly so. He left on his own accord. He didn't want to stick around and be part of this nonsense. Fair enough. Next up, Chelsea start exploring options to add centre-back to squad after internal talks. Diana Ordonez deal remains done and sealed, but from January 2027, that's that 16, 17-year-old from Ecuador. Like a kid's going to really help us out now. January 2027, so it's not even for now, it's for next season. Now looking for a new CB for this window. It's mad. More incompetency, more mistakes. Now you're looking for it. Last summer, what happened? When Enzo Maresca was asking for it. Now Liam Rossignol is asking for it. Now we want to kick into gears. But it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because it's not just about getting a CB. But if you keep getting kids, it don't matter. You need to get experienced centre-backs. Virgil van Dijk-esque level. But don't give me you are linked with Virgil van Dijk because you weren't. Chelsea have started to look for new centre-back opportunity following internal talks with Liam Rossignol. Enzo Maresca already discussed this with Chelsea last summer, but Chelsea decided to stick with current squad. This doesn't mean anything for Josh Achapong. Chelsea don't want to sell, and his situation is quiet. That's good. Josh Achapong, I think there's a serious level of player there, one that we need to stick around with. We've seen Lewis Hall. Look at how much he's grown at Newcastle. Tino Livramento, another one. Excuse me. That has grown in Newcastle. So we don't want to make the same mistake with Josh Achapong. I think there's a serious level player there, but all of a sudden now you want to link yourself with the CB. The ownership really needs to look at themselves first, of course, but at the same time, look at who they've hired in sporting directors, positions. Look who they hired in head of recruitment, Joe Shields, everyone, and really question themselves: are we operating at the highest level? Are we actually operating as a top club? No, we're not. We're no different to Brighton. We're no different to Ajax. We're no different to Dortmund. Dortmunds of the world. We just operate at a higher level than them. Churning and burning players. Check more nonsense, ladies and gentlemen. More nonsense lined up. Elliot Anderson is on Chelsea's list for the summer window. With appreciation for Mainu and Wharton too, Liam Rossignol will play a role in deciding which names the club go for in the market. I love how the journalists now, they want to say Liam Rossignol will play a role. Like, you know, trying to carry on with the narrative that Liam Rossignol said that, yeah, I'm in charge. Look, it doesn't matter. It's nonsense. And this makes me think that definitely we're going to have some departures in midfield in the summer, whether it's Enzo Fernandez, whether it's Romeo Lavia, someone's going to go. I don't know if we're going to end up getting any of these players. Maybe Mainu. I don't see how we are going to go for Elliot Anderson or Wharton. I think they're going to cost a lot of money. They're going to ask a lot in terms of wages. Mainu is one that we've been linked with. And look, Mainu is an all right player. He's a good player. I think he can develop into a very, very solid midfield player. And we have a very good business relationship with Man United. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. Man United probably needs some funding with one of their academy products. They helped us out with Mason Mount. We helped them out with Garnacho. We're probably going to help them out with Mainu. And who knows, down the track, they might help us out with someone. That's how it all works. Business relationship. Business. Dario Sugu has been added to Chelsea's Champions League squad following the departure of Bonanotte to Leeds. Good. Hope to see Dario Sugu have some impact. I think he's needed in midfield. I think he needs to give Caicedo a bit of break every now and then. And maybe down the track, who knows, Dario Sugu could potentially play more often in a double pivot, because it seems like Liam Rossignol, the way he plays, he needs the double pivot to stay close to each other and cover a lot of ground together. Win the balls. Those two players are very important. Yeah, they need to be very good on the ball as well. There's no discounting that, but you have to be very good defensively as well. Rossignol says Romeo Lavia is back on the pitch, but not with the group. No time frame provided. Good to hear something in regards to Romeo Lavia, that he's at least back. Some news. This player, Romeo Lavia, he means, honestly, sometimes I even forget that he's our player. He comes back, he plays half an hour, then he's gone for 3 months. This is a news that's come out in relation to Romeo Lavia after 2 months since the last time he got injured. So I'm not keeping my hopes up. I think he's one player that we're going to get rid of. We were looking to get rid of apparently last summer. Rossignol, if we make a signing this month, it needs to be the right player. I'm in conversations with the board every single day. Let's see what we do. We do need some help. That's for sure. We definitely need some help in the squad. Rossignol says he understands if fans want to protest as them pay money and want the best for the club, but he's focusing on his job as head coach. Yeah, well, there's a protest that's lined up before the Brentford game, and rightly so. To all the fans, match-going fans, make sure you're there for the protest. This is your opportunity. Look at all the nonsense news that we're going through. This is your opportunity to voice your opinion, to voice your feelings, and see if you can make a change. We're going to try our best to promote it as much as we can on social media, the overseas fans, but it's you guys that go to the matches. You need to go there in numbers, and you really need to voice this out massively. And you can't just be on one occasion. It's got to be on a consistent basis, protest after protest after protest, if we want to see some change, or if we want to get these owners gone. Rosinho says Reece James and Palmer have both trained today, so hopefully both can feature against Brentford, because honestly, if we don't beat Brentford, we're done. We have to pick up 3 points against Brentford, or the Premier League season's going down the drain. And this entire season will be going down the drain. Need Reece James and Palmer back and need to get 3 points. More than you can believe. Rosinho says Liam, Delap and Gittins are still unwell, with staff now catching it too. Rosinho had a meeting on the importance of washing hands, etc. It's just, we can't seem to catch a break, man. If it's not injury, it's illness. If it's not illness, it's some other nonsense. Always there's nonsense. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know about how you felt in relation to all of this nonsense that we've gone through. Comment below, smash up the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content, and hype the video. Really helps a lot with the growth of the channel. Until next time, everyone, take care. See ya.